Hi, this is Nick Williams. I'm here with John Williams, no relation, who's just written a book called Screw Work, Let's Play, How to Do What You Love and Get Paid for It. We've been having a series of conversations because we share passions, and John is doing wonderful work in helping people find what they love and get paid for doing it. We're talking now about kind of getting known. I don't know what your experience is, but you know, in my work I meet people who are absolutely brilliant at what they do, have really good hearts, have tremendous talents and gifts, but the problem for them is they're pretty much anonymous. Yes. People don't know them. Do you find that? And if you do, what do you suggest?
Yes, and there's sometimes a bit of a frustration because there's these people who are doing something you know they're really skilled, and sometimes they've not quite got it right. And they can't get clients, they can't get work, and they're actually running out of money. That's quite common. And I think there's a number of things that are going on, and this is why I wrote a whole chapter called How to Play the Fame Game in the book. It's not really, you can use it to get famous if that's what you want, but I'm also using it in a slightly, not to be taken too seriously. Fame could just mean getting known by the people you'd like to work with.
Seen and known by the people who could be your clients.
Yeah. And I think the first thing is to make sure that people get what you do and that you are doing something remarkable. So you could be the most talented osteopath in the world, but if you're selling yourself as, oh, I'm an osteopath and I'm also a masseur and I also do all sorts of other things, then people don't quite get where you are. It's great when people know how to refer you, and you go, I'm just a great osteopath and here's what my clients say. If you're embarrassed bigging yourself up, get your clients to do it. And when people know it, they know how to refer you. And a core part of that is if there's any way you can stand out, and I call it pimp your project, because I'm all about doing this project by project. And what I mean by that is it's a reference to making yourself look unusual and stand out in any way at all. And there's always, there are ways to do it I talk about in the book, but anything you can do that allows you to really get, oh right, this is you, this is your unique angle. And everyone has one. It takes a bit of diving sometimes. Yeah,
and is it both a unique angle, but is it also about just who you are as a person as well?
Absolutely, yeah, because people go, what's my USP? And I kind of go, I don't try not to use that language, but my unique selling proposition, it's a marketing term. And it's not about that, because actually you are sometimes the selling point. And a lot of my friends are therapists because I did some psychotherapy training, and they all have websites, all encouraged to make websites that are completely generic. And I just go, oh, I wish I could help you. And they're very
not
resistant
really
to standing out.
Yeah.
And the problem is, of course, one of them is lovely and warm and friendly, the most comforting person you ever meet. The other person is sort of really down to earth and funny and unpolitically correct and says things you're not supposed to say about relationships and stuff. And none of those things are shown on the website. So the first thing I do with people, and I talk about in the book, is how can we take you, what's inside, that people actually refer you for and come to you for.
That's interesting, because often, again, we've talked a little bit about shifting from employee to entrepreneur thinking, that often as an employee we're encouraged to leave our personality out of the job that we do.
Absolutely.
But what you seem to be suggesting is, as an entrepreneur and doing your own thing, actually you need to bring your personality in, because that's perhaps what's going to make you unique and draw people to you. Is that right?
Yeah, personality is absolutely fundamental, and people occasionally tell me I should dress smarter, but I just think, well, if my book was called Straighten Up and Fly Right, maybe, but this is how I dress normally, and I haven't worn a tie in about 20 years, and I don't intend to. So that's part of my personality showing. I'm quite sort of laid back in some ways. So that has to run throughout everything you do.
Great. Any other kind of practical tips about how you play the fame game, and how you get seen and known?
So once you've made yourself, you've got clear what it is that's remarkable about you and what you do, and anyone can do that, then find a channel of communication that's going to allow you to build an audience or a following around you. And that could, and what's really exciting is there's a whole suite of stuff out there on the internet that just didn't exist even 5 years ago.
Like Facebook and
so
Twitter.
Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, MySpace, whatever it is, you find your favourite channel, and it's good to have one. Blogging is a great one for almost anybody, in my opinion, and I'll explain why that is in the book. And it allows you to talk about what you think should be different and what you believe in about your work, and people who agree with that will latch on to you and you don't even need to sell. They'll eventually go, oh really, are you available?
Mm.
And that's what I'm talking about. So you find a channel to communicate with people.
I use the expression you need to show up, and kind of that's what you're saying really, because you know, and I think there's a difference between showing off and showing up.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, maybe somebody watching this might be confused. Well, if I show up, am I just showing off? But to me, showing up is an act of generosity. It's like, well, this is how I can help.
Yeah, that's my, and I occasionally get a little bit annoyed with clients who are kind of playing small, because I just think, why don't you just tell people how good you are? Because you're not doing them a favour by pretending you're the same as everybody else.
Because everybody loses then. Because, you know, and this is my take, and I'd be interested to hear your take. But if you've got, well, no, I believe that everybody has unique gifts and talents.
I do, yeah.
So if you're not showing up with them, if you're not recognising them and not showing up with them, you lose, and the world loses.
You're shortchanging everybody. Shortchanging yourself, your clients, your employer, and the world.
Great. Well, thank you very much, John. Thank you for watching this. Hope you've enjoyed it. Screwwork Let's Play by John Williams. Thanks very much for your time. Hope it's been helpful.